Our animal companions follow us through life with devotion, care, and joy. When my dog Artemis crossed over, I experienced such a profound sign from beyond that my eyes tear up just thinking about it even today. And I can't wait to share it with you. With this light, March's circle opens, a circle of water, of memory that move like the tide, and of companions who still echo in our lives even after their spirits have moved beyond. The lantern is lit. Let us enter the place where love continues. Last month, we explored the thin places between worlds and ancestral echoes. The way that what is unresolved moves through the generations. And this month, we turn our gaze to our companions, to the little souls who choose to walk with us for a season and leave paw prints not just on the ground, but on our hearts. In 2013, I adopted my dog Artemis, who was the gentlest being I have ever known. She was around 2 years old, and her name was actually Stripes. But when I saw her, I knew that she deserved a more regal name, and I knew exactly what it should be because she was strong and noble, but also sweet and gentle too. I brought her home, and as an aside, she was supposed to be spayed. So imagine my shock when I got home from work one day and she had gone into heat all over the white walls and floors of my apartment. That was a really fun phone call, calling the carpet cleaning company and asking if they could remove blood from the carpet. So anyway, I've always been afraid of thunderstorms since I was a child. And for those of us who have lived through traumatic events, fear often attaches itself to something big and loud so that we don't have to face the deeper wounds that are real in our life. Thunder would shake me to the bones, and the thought of a tornado terrified me whenever a storm would hit. So when I adopted Artemis, I was living alone for the first time. And whenever storms would come, I would be so frightened that I would cry and tremble. And Artemis would climb onto me. She would lay her body across my chest and press herself very close. Slowly over time, something shifted, and I was no longer afraid of storms, but she was. And it felt as though she had taken that fear into herself, carrying it for me. Her nickname was Moose, because when Buddhist monks who once lived with me tried to say Artemis, they laughed and said, Artemis, Moose, Moose, Artemis. And so she became Moose until the day she died. I talk about my time with the monks in another video. I'll make sure to link that below if you're interested. As she grew older, arthritis took her body. And when it was time, I was there. We wrapped her in love, one of my pashminas, one of my ex-husband's shirts, and flowers from every corner of the farm laid across her body, the farm she loved so much. We buried her close by and planted wildflowers above her. That night that we buried her, as I drifted towards sleep, I heard her crying at the door the same way she used to when she needed help or wanted to get in the house when she was alive. I was half asleep, half dreaming, and I whispered, "Honey, the walls and doors won't stop you anymore." And then I heard the tinkling of her little paws on the floor, and it filled me with relief. I prayed that someone would come and guide her so that she wouldn't be afraid, and I fell back asleep in peace. And as I slumbered, I felt like these two arms beneath me, very strong, lifting me as if a parent holding a child. I felt so comfortable and safe, but it continued a long time. And I started feeling a bit nervous, so I asked to be set down. And gently, like a parent, I was set down. Then throughout that entire night, I woke up in that space between sleep and wakefulness over and over again to the sound of the most beautiful music I had ever heard. It was so dreamy, and it sounded somewhere between a harp and a piano. It was a single instrument, not like a lot. It's dulcimer notes, soothing and almost holy. I wondered if this is why people talk about harps when they talk about going to heaven in the afterlife. When I woke up, I felt like Artemis had been carried across and did not have to make the journey alone. This gave me so much comfort, but I was still in deep sadness for missing her so much. Now, whether these moments came from the psyche or from the unseen, the meaning remains the same. Love does not disappear, it just changes form. Across cultures, water has symbolized the passage between worlds, tears, rivers, and rain. What flows does not end, it transforms. We even say our beloved pets cross the rainbow bridge. And what is a rainbow but light reflected through water? Here's the truth this month asks us to hold. We do not grieve just an animal. We grieve a spirit who walked beside us, who carried our pain and loved us unconditionally. Artemis still rests near my home, and each year I plant wildflowers over her grave, not because she is gone, but because she's still with me in another way. I painted a special marker for her resting place, covered it in hearts and flowers, the way her spirit and light felt to me. And now I ask you, who still walks with you? And where do you feel them in your life? What if the ones we love, especially our animal companions, never truly leave us, but simply change the way that they walk beside us? I wonder sometimes if those arms that held me were her in a different form, holding and comforting me in the same way I loved and treasured her when she was alive. Love does not vanish when a body is gone. As I say in one of my poems, love is a dance of pure fire lit by flowing water. The flame of life may flow away from these fragile vessels, but the flame of love still lives and flows within us. Next Tuesday in Practical Magic, we will work with water and memory to create an altar to honor those who still remain in our hearts. If this stirred something within you, I welcome any of your comments or stories below. The circle remains open. I will see you soon, Mystic Traveler.